A two, a three. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jack.
Babe Ruth was once described as less than a god, but more than a man. This is not the Babe Ruth story. This is the story of another baseball legend, more infamous than famous. The story of Charlie Hustle, the Cincinnati Reds' Pete Rose. Now, why do we bring this story to you as a leadership lesson? Because it's a cautionary tale about leadership of a man who was able to wear all three hats of leadership effectively, yet in the end failed as a leader because he was unaware of the things that would take him down. So let's take a look at Charlie Hustle. You can't argue with Pete Rose as an individual contributor. He had a Hall of Fame career as an individual player with record hits, record games played. The list goes on and on. When we look at the things that matter in leadership as an individual contributor, these are the things that Pete Rose excelled at doing. He was highly action-oriented. He had a great temperament for the game. Certainly persevered. Who else do you know that slides in head first or slid in head first at that time in baseball's history? And he was extraordinarily self-motivated to continue to get better and better and better. Nobody's career spans 3 decades if you don't have self-motivation. What many people don't know about Pete Rose is that in addition to wearing the leads the self hat as an individual contributor and being a superstar, he was also the Reds manager for a number of years. As a matter of fact, he managed the Reds from 1984 to 1989. Now, what's interesting about that particular fact is while he was managing in 84, 85, and 86, he was also a player. He was the true player coach. Pete excelled at these skills of a manager, providing direction to his team, developing his junior talent, confronting umpires by kicking dirt on their shoes, for example, and certainly his ability to manage the resources of his team. So think about it. An individual contributor, a team leader, and also potentially a leader of an entire organization. Pete Rose could have been the face of a franchise. Certainly many Reds fans will tell you today he was the greatest player ever to play for the Reds. He certainly exhibited the leads the firm type of skills and attributes, challenging the assumptions about baseball, inspiring other baseball players, and driving a vision of what baseball could be. But alas for Pete, it was not to be. You might think this is a picture of Pete entering the Hall of Fame, tipping his cap to all those who saw him as a player, who saw him as a leader, who saw him as a manager. But Pete Rose would fall from grace because Pete Rose forgot about some of the essential attributes needed to be a great leader. Certainly he fell short on integrity and self-awareness. Well, why is that, you ask? Pete Rose will be banned from baseball's Hall of Fame for life because Pete Rose bet on baseball games while he was a player and while he was a manager. So he certainly lacked his integrity, and he lacked self-awareness about understanding what his demons were and the things that were going to take him down. Pete Rose set the priorities of himself over the priorities of his team, over the priorities of the franchise, and over the priorities of Major League Baseball. And that's another reason why we'll never see Pete in the Hall of Fame. And finally, of course, as a leader, we know you must be ethical and you must make good decisions. And unfortunately for Pete, that was not to be. So think of this as a leader. The story of Charlie Hustle is a cautionary tale for all of us who are individual contributors or leaders in our own right. Be curious, be humble, and be self-aware so you don't get called out in the end. If you've enjoyed this, please visit our website, go visit us online. Check out our YouTube channel. I look forward to sharing with you more leadership stories next time.